In this video, we're going to talk about carbohydrates and whether or not you need them. Let's go. All right, Anthony over on Facebook asked, what is your opinion on carbs when it comes to getting lean? Well, Anthony, the short answer is no, you don't need them. That's it for this time. Actually, I'm just kidding. That's not it. Let's talk about carbohydrates a little bit and what they do in the body. Carbohydrates are broken down to their usable form known as glucose. Glucose is one of two energy substrates within the body. You have glucose and you have ketone bodies. Carbohydrates are very peculiar when it comes to macronutrients because of the fact that, unlike fat and protein, carbohydrates cannot be eliminated by the body. So in other words, we only have two choices when it comes to the glucose that comes from carbohydrates. We either have to use it for energy or we have to store it for later use. How does that happen? It gets transported to the liver where it undergoes a process called lipogenesis. The liver turns it to triglycerides, aka body fat, and stores it so we can use it at a later date. Because of the fact that carbs can be stored as fat, you can see where it would be counterproductive when you're trying to get lean. Let's talk about the other energy substrate in the body, which I've already touched on, which is ketones. Ketones are a powerful energy source that the body can actually create from fatty acids in the liver. And when it comes to energy, ketones are just as powerful as glucose. But here's the good thing about ketones versus glucose. As I've already told you, glucose can't be eliminated by the body. It either has to be burnt or stored. Ketones can be eliminated. You can either excrete them in urine or you can exhale them through your breath. So when you look at the two energy substrates side by side, it's easy to see why most fitness professionals do not recommend that you eat a high amount of carbohydrates when you're trying to lose body fat. There are a lot of people out there today that will tell you that carbs are evil and that you should avoid them at all costs. That is not in any way, shape, or form true. Carbs are not evil. However, they are dangerous. As I've already demonstrated, if you eat too many of them and you don't have a need, they can get stored as body fat. So now, here's one more amazing fact that I'll give you about carbohydrates and glucose. Your body doesn't need them at all. That's right. You don't need to eat a single gram of carbohydrates in order to survive. Your body can actually create glucose from fatty acids. And guess where that happens? Yep, you guessed it. And that powerful little organ again, the liver. Fatty acids get transported to the liver where they undergo a process called gluconeogenesis. This is a process that turns those fatty acids into glucose so that any functions in the body that require it have it readily available. So let's sum things up. Anthony, you do not need to eat carbohydrates to get lean. You can, however. It all depends on how many of them you eat. Just like with anything else, moderation is the key. Make sure that the amount of carbohydrates you're eating every day are just what you need for the energy that you're putting out. If you do that, you can still get lean eating carbohydrates. I'm doing it right now. Okay, guys, I hope you enjoyed this first episode of the Flex Fuel Forum. Now, just so you know, you can get your questions answered in a number of ways. You can ask a question on any of my social media platforms. You can actually even email a question in to questions@t2nutritionandwellness.com. And lastly, you can put comments below this video, ask your questions there, and I'll find them. And who knows, you could be the next person that I shout out doing one of these videos. So until next time, you know my motto, playtime's over. It's time to go to work.